So, the car has been down for like 2 weeks, but a person reached out to me on Facebook and offered me a pretty good solution. And basically, we just bought ourselves a new intake. Let's rip into it and I'll show you what I got. Man, how about this thing? Let's go set it on the car. Wow. That's a big difference. Also, that's a huge throttle body. I'm not going to be using this 4-bolt adapter. I'm going to be using the traditional 3-bolt. I just got to grab it off of the old truck manifold. This is an older BBK intake modeled after the LS6. It has improvements over that, I believe in porting and such, but it's meant to replace an LS6 or an LS1 intake. So it has LS1 fuel rails and LS1 injectors. They came with it. I can't be grateful enough that they did. It has the huge throttle body for adapting to a 4-bolt big throttle body like a 92 or 102 millimeter. I don't plan to use those. I'm going to use the one off of the truck intake because we work so hard to keep it drive-by-wire. I don't know why. I don't want to boast, but this is a tremendous amount of space. We are still jacked way high in the air. I think I'd like to try and lower the car back down and see where everything fits. So the car is back down on the ground. I rebolted the subframe up to the 2 top strut towers, and now we can finally see how much room all that money bought us. I'm not going to say how much this was. I'm just going to say that it was a fantastic deal, and I am extremely grateful that it came to me. I'm not going to mention who gave it to me, but I am so appreciative, you have no idea. This is one enormous step closer to where I want this car to end up. Boy, that's pretty. It should be stated that along with this new LS6 style intake, it means that the water pump has to change because this neck is going to be directly in the way of our throttle body. Now, Leon gave me an LS1 water pump off of a Corvette, but we are going to use the stock one. I bought a relocation kit for remounting the alternator back down there. Anybody who's into LSs knows that you can't just bolt on an LS1 or LS6 style intake without modifying a whole bunch of other parts. That's what we're going to do next. So as you saw, we've got a lot of clearance issues that we need to take care of because of our new intake. So we brought the water pump assembly down to Leon from Leon's Garage Adventures.
Well, hey, give me a little steal my snackies.
So Leon had an extra one of these whole water pump assemblies because he's had like 54.5 LS trucks. So we snagged another one and we're going to modify this one. Now the idea is that we need to change the coolant passage to here and then to here. I'm trying to convince him to make this go straight out. We'll see how that goes. We also need to cap off the original one at the top because that's right where the motor for the throttle body on the new lower intake assembly is going to be. The fun part is going to be getting the fan assembly off. A little while later, this top one, you can heat up the outside and it sort of pulls out. The other ones I was doing pretty good until I took a bit off the top. So my solution was to cut both of them completely off because they just need to be blocked off. Are you just gonna fill them in?
Yeah.
Just little spirally doos?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's Wednesday, my dude. Couple of quick nubs. Then I went ahead and cut out a small disc to cover up this one. So then we'll weld that together.
I'm ready to go.
So a hole must be drilled into here so that we can hole saw out where the new pipe's gonna be.
And turn up, my boy. Like I said, we hungry.
Oh!
I'm gonna grab like that.
Always gotta be recording with Leon. Yeah! So now that we're back at the car, my tripod just broke. How much does that suck? Damn it. We have a bit more dismantling to do on the Festiva first, so we're going to go ahead and get everything out of the way so that we can start putting on our new parts. The car is in a state of dismantle, but I was able to get the new relocation kit for the alternator on. Hasn't been plugged in yet. It needed a lot of custom modification, which I'll probably talk about in a later episode. Here's the new water pump relocation routing. It's actually Easter Sunday. The kids just opened up their baskets, and I wanted to get one major thing accomplished today. I want to put the hood back on, and for that to happen, the turbo stuff has to come off. Now, don't get too upset because it is going back on, but in a much better way in a future episode. But I want to kind of wrap up this section of the project today. So we have to remove a bunch of the piping, block off the oil lines for the turbo, and then go dig the hood out of the shed. So let's do that. Well, this has definitely been a while. I'm not a body guy, so the way I line things up is not usually perfect. But basically, we got the hood back on, we got all the turbo stuff pulled off for now. I have to stress that, for now. But I just wanted to get this episode out because I know a lot of you have been watching this build for a very long time, and you deserve some updates. So here we are, it closes. I don't think anyone would be able to tell that this had a LS, especially with a turbocharger sticking underneath of it. The hood popper still functions the way it's supposed to, except it's not mounted to anything. And here's where we are at this exact moment. As you can see, I got the new intake on. The harness still needs to get more wires removed from it because even this new intake has less sensors on it than the original factory truck intake. So we're gonna have to do a lot of rewiring. I'm kind of torn right now because I want to order some new stainless steel manifolds and have Leon help me and replumb the turbo before we do kind of anything else. But in order to get to that point, I have to find a better location for the ECU. I need to buy my new belt for the new shorter run. I need to mount the water pump. I need to mount the oil cooler again. I need to order a whole bunch of stainless steel tubing along with the new manifolds themselves. And I am still waiting 3 weeks later now for my injector harness to go between the new LS1 injectors and the old 5.3 harness. But there's been a lot of stuff going on. I hope everyone's been enjoying the Turbo LS3 Fiero build over on Leon's Garage Adventures. We've been spending a lot of late nights there working on that thing. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to go ahead and put a link up here so you can go check out the first episode for yourself. And if you like the build, maybe stick around and go ahead and subscribe to his channel because it helps both of us out, honestly. As always, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes that you guys don't know about, but we don't want to mention anything until it's been finalized. So we have a couple of things heading in the right direction right now, but we won't know for at least another week or so. I really do love the look of that new intake. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and if you'd like to, maybe subscribe, hit the like button, helps out the channel. Just like everybody says, it's all part of that whole YouTube algorithm. Anyway, see you guys in the next episode.